Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, DXN Middle East. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome one and all to the question and answer session conducted by DXN Middle East Management. It's been quite some time to see all of you in this platform, the Q&A session. And we are extremely happy to conduct this program for the benefit of all our Middle East members. First of all, to begin with, let me take the privilege to introduce you the translator for this event, the PIC of DXN MN, Mr. Abdul Khalil. He'll be translating the whole event. Brother Khalil, welcome to this platform.
Welcome, sir. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. صباح الخير عليكم جميعا أعضاء وعضوات DXN الشرق الأوسط. هنا السيد شيبي يرحب بكم جميعا في هذه الجلسة، جلسة أسئلة وأجوبة مع إدارة DXN الشرق الأوسط، والذي نتمنى أن تكون فيها فائدة كبيرة لجميع الأعضاء. مرحبا بكم جميعا.
Ladies and gentlemen, the basic agenda of this meeting is to get the queries from you, and to get the suggestions from you, to get what is happening in your market, and to get the exact feedback on how your business is going. And you can share anything which is related to DXN Middle East in this Q&A session. And we from DXN Middle East Management would try our level best to answer you in the best possible manner.
في الحقيقة لقد قمنا بعمل هذه الجلسة، جلسة أسئلة وأجوبة، لكي نسمع منكم. فنحن نتطلع لاقتراحاتكم، أيضا مشاركتنا بما ترونه ما يحدث في السوق، وذلك لكي يعم الفائدة للجميع إن شاء الله.
To introduce to you all, we are having the gracious presence of the Managing Director of DXN Middle East, Mr. Matthew PK. Sir Matthew, welcome to this platform.
نرحب بالسيد ماثيو بيكي، لنا الشرف الكبير بأن نرحب به في هذه الجلسة. أهلا بك سيد ماثيو.
We are having the presence of the International Marketing Director of DXN Middle East, Mr. Salim Shaji. Mr. Salim, welcome to this program.
نرحب أيضا بالسيد سليم شاجير، مدير التسويق، مدير عام التسويق في الشرق الأوسط.
We are having the presence of the Finance Director of DXN Middle East, Mr. Jenny Joseph. Mr. Jenny, welcome to this program.
كما نرحب أيضا بالسيد جيني، مرحبا بك في هذا البرنامج.
We are having the presence of the Operations Manager of DXN Middle East, Mr. Sebastian Joseph. Mr. Sebastian, welcome to this program.
أيضا لدينا في هذه الجلسة السيد سباستيان، مدير العمليات في DXN الشرق الأوسط. مرحبا بك سيد سباستيان.
We are having the presence of the Training Manager of DXN Middle East, Mr. Boban Joseph. Mr. Boban, welcome to this program.
Morning.
Yeah, and myself is Shebi Philip. I'm the Marketing Manager of DXN Middle East, and we as a full team is here in front of you to receive your questions, to answer you in the best possible way. So Matthew, would you like to share something in the beginning? So your mic is on mute. Yes.
Hello. Yeah, Shabi, please continue.
Thank you so much. Mr. Salim, would you like to share something in the beginning?
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum. Subah al khair. We welcome once again everybody to this Ask the Middle East Management program. See, this is a platform which we have set for you to ask us whatever may be your doubts, whatever may be your complaints, whatever may be your feedback. Please feel free to open this here, and inshallah we will be answering your queries.
Absolutely. I think Brother Khalil will be rejoining with us, so we will be continuing with the program. Brothers and sisters, please feel free to ask any of the queries that you need to get cleared by management, kindly please note, these questions should be related to DX and Middle East in particular, because we know that there are a lot of questions in your mind which is related to outside markets too, and we are happy to answer that. But for this program, we will be completely concentrating on to answer you on the questions related to DX and Middle East. So please feel free to shoot your questions. You can use your chat box, but we would prefer you to use the Q&A box to raise your questions so that we can easily pick your questions and raise it to the management. Brother Khalil, are you with us?
Yes. I'm sorry for the disconnection. Sorry, brother.
It's perfectly fine.
So I'll pick your last words.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Can you please repeat what you said?
Brother, I was requesting everybody to shoot their questions. They can use the chat box or the Q&A box in Zoom to raise their questions. And these questions has to be related with the DX and Middle East so that we can answer them in the best possible manner.
السيد شيبي يطلب من الحاضرين جميعا بأن يستخدموا مربع الشات المحادثة لكي يضعوا أسئلتهم. لذلك نرجو منكم جميعا أن تضعوا أسئلتكم المتعلقة بالشركة وبالسوق.
Perfect. So we are having our first question here. Can I go with the first question, Mr. Salim?
Yes, please.
The first question is related to the product availability in Iraq, especially some products like Potency, cordyceps powder, lion's mane powder. All these products, they are asking for the possibility of getting it in Iraq. So can you please answer?
Yeah. Mr. Khalil, would you like to translate the question?
Yes, please. Can you please repeat it, Mr. Shibi? I'm sorry.
It's about the availability of products in Iraq. They're asking for some specific products like Potency, cordyceps, lion's mane to get in Iraq.
السؤال هو عبارة عن تواجد بعض المنتجات في دولة العراق، منتجات DXN مثل عرف الأسد وغيرها من المنتجات.
In fact, not only about DX in Iraq, about the entire DX and Middle East market, we have a very structured plan to introduce more and more products to different countries of Middle East, which includes Potency, cordyceps powder, lion's mane powder. All these products are in pipeline in different countries for registration. Soon you will be able to see that many Middle East countries are launching these products, inshallah.
السيد سليم يجيب ليس فقط في العراق وإنما في منطقة الشرق الأوسط بشكل عام، فهناك مساعي حثيثة لتوفير كل هذه المنتجات مثل منتج البوتنزي وأيضا مسحوق الكورديسيبس وغيرها من المنتجات الجديدة، وهي الآن في طور التسجيل، وإن شاء الله ستكون هناك قريبا في جميع الدول في منطقة الشرق الأوسط.
Thank you so much. And as Mr. Salim said, the products will be reaching to all the markets. It's not only one or two products. We are having a bag full of products which is going to launch in the entire Middle East region. Thank you so much, Mr. Salim, for that answer. With that, moving on to the next question. We want a solution.
شكرا جزيلا سيد سليم.
We want a solution to the problems of branches and closures. We have a branch in Salalah that is closed without knowing the reasons. May we know what is the update on DX and Salalah?
السؤال هو عن يتعلق بديكسن صلالة، فرع ديكسن صلالة. هل هناك أي مستجدات حول هذا الفرع؟
DX and Salalah, as far as I know, in Salalah, we will note down the person who had asked the question, and we will be providing you with the detailed address and contact.
Salim bhai, you're having a problem with the connection. Basically, like DXN Salala, we will be contacting the person who has raised this question. And the Salala operations, we are having a different plan. And a new branch will be soon getting opened in Salala. So we will be keeping you updated for this.
بالنسبة لفرع صلالة الجديد إن شاء الله قريبا جدا سيتم فتح فرع جديد في صلالة، وحاليا سوف نرسل للسائل للشخص الذي سأل هذا السؤال على الخاص عنوان الفرع في صلالة، كيف يمكنه شراء منتجات من صلالة.
Thank you so much. Before moving to the next question, we know that we have already started getting these questions which is related to the NTSI, the ITSI, NTSI compensations, and on the basic structure of some of the programs which is going to come. So before addressing these questions, I'd like to welcome Mr. Salim to have some important updates and announcement for DXN Middle East members. Mr. Salim, please.
هناك حقيقة قبل الذهاب إلى السؤال التالي فهناك أسئلة تتعلق برحلات حافز السفر التدريبي. قبل ذلك نود من السيد سليم بأن يطلعنا على الأنباء الجديدة أو الإعلانات الجديدة، فليتفضل مشكورا.
Yeah, we have so many things happening in DXN Middle East. Because of pandemic and things like that, people were a little slow all over the world. Our business was a little bit of slow pace. It was going on a slow pace, but inshallah, the pandemic scare is getting reduced. People are living. People have learned to live along with pandemic. So now it's the time for raising our DXN business, which we are seeing in our sales as well. Many places things are getting activated more and more, and we are hopeful that in the coming months it's gonna be shooting up in terms of sales. In fact, we have so many things in pipeline for the betterment of this community called DXN Middle East. So many people were asking about one question. That's about the recognition during this pandemic, how we will be doing the recognition in different Middle East countries. Certain countries are there where we can have recognition night physically. For example, Yemen, Iraq and all, they are planning physical recognition night. But still, to cover other countries, along with these countries, we are planning to have the first ever virtual anniversary and recognition night of DXN Middle East on 6th August at 4 p.m. UAE time, 3 p.m. Makkah time, inshallah. That's going to be very interesting. It's going to be first time we are having the virtual recognition night and anniversary celebration. Please note this date, 6th August. Mr. Khalil, maybe you can translate up till.
Yes, please. في الواقع هناك العديد من الأشياء التي نخطط لها منذ أن بدأت هذه الجائحة، جائحة كورونا، وإن شاء الله هذه الجائحة سوف تذهب، وقد بدأ الناس فعلا بالتأقلم على العيش في ظل هذه الظروف. ومع ذلك فلدينا أشياء كثيرة دائما نقوم بها والتي تعزز من مبيعاتنا في سوق الشرق الأوسط. هناك أعضاء كثيرون حقيقة يسألون عن مسألة التكريم، كيف سيكون التكريم السنوي لمن حققوا المراتب في شركة DXN. بعض الدول سيكون هناك احتفالات وتكريم على الأرض مثل دولة العراق واليمن، كما أيضا نحن نخطط أيضا بعمل احتفال سنوي كبير عبر الإنترنت، وسيكون الأول من نوعه والذي سيكون في تاريخ 6 أغسطس. أرجو من الجميع أن يحفظ هذا التاريخ لأنه سيكون حدث كبير جدا وسيكون عبر الإنترنت، وكلنا إن شاء الله سننتظر هذا الحدث.
on that day, we will be having, we will be recognizing all the double diamond and above achievers all over the Middle East. We will be recognizing on that platform. Now, if you're thinking about double diamond and below achievers, we are planning to arrange another recognition night for Star Diamond till Executive Senior Star Diamond on 10th September, again, virtually. So diamonds and above, no need to be disappointed. Just after 19th anniversary and DD and above recognition night, we will be arranging a separate virtual event to recognize diamonds, from diamonds to Executive Senior Star Diamond on 10th September, inshallah.
في ذلك التاريخ تاريخ 6 من أغسطس سوف نقوم بتكريم الماسيين المزدوجين دبل دايموند من الأعضاء وما فوقهم من الرتب في جميع أنحاء منطقة الشرق الأوسط. لذلك لا تقلقوا أبدا، سوف نقوم بتكريمكم جميعا في ذلك التاريخ، وسيكون عبر الإنترنت. كما أيضا سنقوم بتكريم الماسيين، النجوم الماسيين مع النجوم الماسيين المتقدمين التنفيذيين من الSD إلى ESSD، وذلك في تاريخ 10 سبتمبر، وسيكون تكريم لجميع من حققوا هذه الرتب في منطقة الشرق الأوسط بالكامل، وستكون أيضا عبر الإنترنت. لذلك انتظرونا حتى هذا التاريخ.
And another thing which we have recently incorporated in our system based on collective requests from different members across the Middle East. And here we would like to thank one association which we have formulated recently, Arabic DXN Middle East Arabic Committee. The respected Arabic committee members, actually they have been working, they have been discussing day in and day out to give many suggestions to the management. And fortunately, all those suggestions which had been proposed by the Arabic committee and further by the DXN Middle East Core Committee, all those suggestions were very valuable. And those suggestions had really helped us to make certain changes, which is definitely needed by members. Recently, many changes which you are seeing, all because of the contribution from the Arabic Committee and Middle East Core Committee. I would like to thank on these junctures the respectable committee members for putting their time and coming up with very valuable suggestions.
الشيء الآخر والذي أيضا نجهز له في نظامنا، في البداية نريد أو أود أن أشكر اللجنة العربية لDXN الشرق الأوسط. هذه اللجنة التي تقوم بعقد اجتماعات مكثفة ليلا ونهارا، ويعطونا أيضا اقتراحاتهم الرائعة حول تطوير السوق والتعزيز من شركتنا في منطقة الشرق الأوسط. وحقيقة اقتراحاتهم قد غيرت الكثير من الأشياء في قراراتنا، فأود أن أشكر هذه اللجنة العربية لديكسن الشرق الأوسط لكل ما يقدموه، وأيضا للوقت الذي يبذلونه ويمنحونه لتطوير الشركة في منطقة الشرق الأوسط.
As a part of these suggestions proposed by Arabic Committee, we have done a new feature on online memberships in Middle East. You can now redeem online membership by completing minimum 100 ppv in multiple bills in the same month of membership registration. Until now, you were asked, the new members, online joined new members were asked to do 100 ppv in a single cash bill in a given month. But now the online membership, you can redeem, you can activate the bonus by completing 100 ppv in the same month where in which they have taken the online membership. But this is applicable only for the first month. Second month, if you are planning to do that, you have to complete it in a single cache bill itself.
واحدة من هذه الاقتراحات أو المقترحات التي تم إنجازها بالفعل، وهي أيضا تعتبر من الأخبار السارة التي نزفها إليكم من إدارة DXN الشرق الأوسط، هي لأصحاب العضويات الإلكترونية في إقليم الشرق الأوسط فقط. أصحاب العضويات الإلكترونية يمكنهم الآن تفعيل عضوياتهم واستلام العمولة عن طريق تسديد 100 نقطة على الأقل في أكثر من فاتورة وليس في فاتورة واحدة، وذلك في نفس شهر التسجيل. أي أنه الآن يعني سابقا كان العضو إذا سجل عضوية إلكترونية يمكنه فقط أن يفعل هذه العضوية ويستلم العمولة إذا سدد 100 نقطة في فاتورة واحدة، لكن الآن يمكن للعضو أن يسجل عضوية إلكترونية، العضو الجديد، وأن يسدد 100 نقطة في أكثر من فاتورة في نفس الشهر. أما إذا لم يستطع أن يسدد 100 نقطة في أكثر من فاتورة في نفس الشهر وانتقل إلى الشهر الذي يليه، فيمكنه تفعيل عضويته فقط لتسديد 100 نقطة في فاتورة واحدة.
Okay, another thing, so many questions are coming up regarding national TSIP and international TSIP programs, which we could not conduct because of this pandemic. There were many questions and there were many recommendations and proposals from Arabic committee also. I would like to give an official explanation here. Whatever you have achieved in terms of TSIP program, definitely it will be getting reimbursed for you in one way or other. We will not be foregoing it for sure. So many discussions are taking place in management level as how to make the compensation perfect. So the TSIP is completely controlled by our headquarters in Malaysia. So we have given different proposals for compensation from the voting which we have done among achievers and from the suggestions from Arabic committee. All these things we have already given our proposals. In the same manner, different countries have submitted different proposals to HQ. Now HQ, along with our Honorable CEO, Dr. Lim Seo Jin, is reviewing all these things, and we are expecting a memo pertaining to this within a couple of days' time, inshallah. As soon as we get the decision from HQ, we will be informing and we will be catering the compensation as suggested by HQ.
الأمر الآخر، هنالك أسئلة كثيرة تصلنا من أعضاء حول رحلة السفر التدريبي 2021 و 2020 عفوا، رحلة حافز السفر الوطنية ورحلة حافز السفر الدولية NTSI و ITSI. في الحقيقة لقد تم مناقشة ذلك بشكل كبير ومكثف مع أعضاء اللجنة العربية حول كيفية تعويض أو كيف سيكون هناك تعويض مناسب للأعضاء، لأنكم كما تعلمون بسبب الجائحة لم نستطيع أن نبدأ أو أن نحقق السفر. ومع هذا هنالك إعلان رسمي أنه أعلنه الآن، هو ما حققتموه من نقاط لرحلة حافز السفر سوف تحصلون عليه، سوف يصل إليكم. لكن هناك نقاشات حول كيفية التعويض، كيف سيكون التعويض، ولقد ناقشنا ذلك مع إدارة الشركة في ماليزيا ومع أيضا الدكتور لم شخصيا. والآن نحن حقيقة ننتظر الموافقة من المقر الرئيسي، وبمجرد ما يصلنا الأخبار سوف نرسل لكم على الفور، سنعلن ذلك على الفور.
Recently, we have been getting so many feedbacks from our members who belongs to those countries where excise sugar tax is being implemented, because as per the government instruction, we had to hike up the price. 50% of the retail price had to be hiked up owing to this excise sugar tax. So many countries have already been implemented and many countries are in the pipeline. So many people were requesting us for the sugar-free series of different DXN products. And also Arabic committee had been proposing it very strongly. So we have, though we have taken a little time for research, development of product and things like that, Alhamdulillah, at last we could launch the first product in Neo series, which is sugar-free series of DXN products. The first products, Morinzi Neo, had been launched in Saudi Arabia right now, and it will be followed with the launch of similar sugar-free products in different countries where excise sugar tax is prevailing. And also we are coming up with Kokozi without sugar, and coffee without sugar already is there, but different coffee varieties also we are trying without sugar. And all these will be launched very soon, inshallah, as under the label of DXN Neo series. We are hopeful that this would be able to combat with the challenge which had been created by certain restrictions of sugar tax and things like that, inshallah.
مؤخرا أيضا وصلتنا الكثير من الاستفسارات والأسئلة من أعضائنا الذين يقطنون في تلك الدول التي تفرض ضريبة السكر على المنتجات والتي تم إضافتها بالفعل على منتجاتنا. هنالك طلبات كثيرة من الأعضاء بإطلاق منتجات خالية من السكر، والحمد لله قد تم بالفعل إطلاق أول منتج من سلسلة منتجات DXN الجديدة الخالية من السكر، وهو عصير المورنزي نيو، والتي تم إطلاقه في المملكة العربية السعودية مؤخرا، وسيصل إن شاء الله قريبا إلى باقي الدول. كما هناك أيضا منتجات أخرى خالية من السكر ستصل قريبا مثل الكوكوزي، وأيضا قهوة، عدة أنواع من القهوة بدون سكر. فهناك حقيقة يوجد لدينا قهوات بدون سكر، لكن ستأتي أنواع أخرى جديدة ومنتجات أخرى، فنتمنى أن ينال ذلك رضا أعضائنا من يواجهون هذه المشكلة وهذا التحدي من إضافة بعض الأسعار بسبب ضريبة السكر.
And another surprise news we would like to announce here now on this platform. We haven't announced it anywhere else. This is again from the recommendation from DXN Middle East Arabic Committee and from different repeated requests from different leaders across the Middle East. We would like to announce one thing here on this platform, and that is nothing but recently we have launched our DXN Korean cosmetic series as sets, and then we have further introduced DXN Korean cosmetics small packages, which is specifically meant for different purposes. And now from tomorrow onwards, we are planning to sell DXN Korean cosmetic series as individual pieces also. That means if you need a moisturizing lotion, if you need a sun SPF cream, sun protection cream or anything like that, you can buy it as individual pieces as well.
أيضا هناك خبر صار وهو يعتبر بمثابة المفاجأة لأعضائنا في منطقة الشرق الأوسط بعد النصائح الكبيرة من اللجنة العربية وأيضا بعض القادة في DXN الشرق الأوسط. يمكن لأعضائنا الآن شراء مستحضرات التجميل الكورية من DXN بشكل فردي. في الواقع لقد تم تقسيمها إلى باقات مصغرة، لكل باقة خصائص معينة، وأيضا سيمكنكم أيضا شراء هذه المنتجات واقتنائها بشكل فردي، بجانب أيضا شراءها كمجموعات كما كانت في السابق. وسنبدأ بهذا من غدا إن شاء الله.
Shabi,
Yeah. Thank you so
I
much.
think, we can proceed with the next question.
Sure. Thank you so much for that wonderful updates, Mr. Salim. You have because we have asked people to raise their questions, and thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. You're having very good response, and whatever Mr. Salim had told you now as an announcement, a lot of you are asking for it, and thank you so much, Mr. Salim, for updating us regarding the first ever virtual recognition, which is going to happen on August 6th, and later for Star Diamonds on 10th of September. And then on 100 PV, different bill, multiple bill, 100 PV kit redemption in eVolt system, which has already been implemented. Thank you for that. And the NTSI and ITSI compensation, there are a lot of questions which is already been raised. So for all of you who are asking NTSI and ITSI compensation, Mr. Salim had already replied to you. And then the new Morenzi Neo series, which is launched in Saudi Arabia, there were questions related to when we are going to have the coffee products also, which will be out of sugar, because nowadays there was one member who was telling there are a lot of people who are changing their diet to sugar-free diet. So they don't want to use any product which is with sugar. So everybody is looking forward to have neo products, especially the coffee, like Cocozi, Cordyceps coffee, coffee 3-in-1, coffee 3-in-1 light, and everything without sugar. And you have already updated that. And above all, and thank you so much for the update on individual Korean cosmetic set. This also has been raised as a request from all our members, especially from the Arabic committee, our panel. And thank you so much for this good news, for allowing DXN Middle East members to have all the Korean cosmetics as single individual pieces.
شكرا جزيلا سيد سليم على هذه الأخبار السارة والإعلانات الجديدة التي فعلا أسعدتنا وأسعدت الأعضاء، وأنا ألاحظ ذلك في التعليقات التي ترسل حاليا من الأعضاء. هنالك عدد من الأعضاء قد سألوا فعلا عن بعض هذه الأشياء التي قد أجاب عنها السيد سليم ضمن هذه الإعلانات، ونعيد ونذكر بهذه الإعلانات بشكل موجز وسريع. هي رقم 1 الاحتفال السنوي 19 الذي تنظمه شركة DXN الشرق الأوسط لتكريم الماسيين المزدوجين من الأعضاء وما فوقهم، وذلك في 6 من أغسطس الساعة 4 مساء توقيت الإمارات. وتكريم النجوم الماسيين من رتبة النجم الماسي حتى رتبة النجم الماسي المتقدم التنفيذي في 10 من سبتمبر الساعة 4 مساء بتوقيت الإمارات. أيضا الميزة الجديدة لأصحاب العضويات الإلكترونية في إقليم الشرق الأوسط بأنهم يمكنهم الآن بأن يسددوا 100 نقطة في أكثر من فاتورة واحدة في نفس شهر التسجيل. أيضا كما أنه يمكن شراء مستحضرات التجميل الكورية من DXN بشكل فردي بجانب شرائها كمجموعات أيضا، وهذه أيضا ميزة رائعة جدا ستتيح للكثير من أعضائنا باقتناء هذه المستحضرات والمنتجات الرائعة. كما أيضا قد أجاب السيد سليم على الأسئلة المتعلقة برحلة حافز السفر التدريبي TSIB، رحلة حافز السفر الوطنية ورحلة حافز السفر الدولية، ونحن بانتظار التعويضات المناسبة وفي انتظار أيضا الموافقة من المقر الرئيسي. كما أيضا تكلم في آخر المطاف عن إطلاق سلسلة جديدة من منتجات الشركة الخالية من السكر مثل عصير المورنزينيو في المملكة العربية السعودية، وسيتم قريبا إن شاء الله إطلاق بقية المنتجات. شكرا لكم.
After that, a long update, I'd like to start with a very normal question, like, but nowadays everybody is asking the same. The online meetings are nice and it is going well. When are you going to have an actual physical meeting? When are we going to start?
أيضا هناك سؤال أريد أن أعرضها عليكم. واحد من الأشخاص قد سأل هذه الجلسة جيدة التي الآن تحدث عبر الإنترنت، لكن متى سيكون هناك الجلسة الفعلية على الأرض أيضا؟
We will have to check that with COVID. Actually, see, many countries, we are following exactly as per the government restrictions. Whatever may be the government authority had instructed us to follow the protocol, we are getting along with that. So certain countries are getting opened up. For example, in Yemen, we are going to have a recognition night very soon, inshallah. In Iraq also activities are going on, and in UAE restrictions are getting lesser and lesser. In the same manner, many countries, as and when the authorities announce the ease of restrictions, immediately we will be restarting all our activities and events and everything like that. Inshallah, we will hope that better it will come soon, inshallah.
في الواقع نحتاج أن نسأل كورونا عن ذلك متى سنبدأ الاجتماع الفعلي، ولكن في الواقع بعض الدول لديها بعض التقييدات ويجب علينا احترام ذلك، ولكن هناك أيضا بعض الدول تسمح أيضا بالاجتماعات الفعلية مثل اليمن والعراق، وهنالك في اليمن سيكون هناك قريبا أيضا تكريم حفل كبير لتكريم الماسيين في الشهر المقبل، فإن شاء الله نتمنى أن تكون الأوضاع على ما يرام.
Thank you so much for that answer, Mr. Salim. Brothers and sisters, we are receiving a lot of questions which are almost of the same line. So, please don't mind if we are not asking your question specifically, but definitely your question will be raised because we are combining all these questions of similar character and raising it as one question. So, because there was question related to the same thing, why the recognition is not physically conducted in Saudi Arabia like what we are having in Yemen. So the question is already been raised. Mr. Salim had already replied to you.
هناك أسئلة كثيرة في الواقع، نتمنى من بعض الأعضاء لا يحزنوا إذا لم نسأل بعض أسئلتهم، لأن الأسئلة متشابهة ومتكررة وسوف نحاول جاهدين على إجابتها بشكل كبير، وهناك بعض الأسئلة التي قد أجاب عليها فعلا السيد سليم في الإجابة السابقة.
Thank you. There is another very, very important question. And thank you so much for raising this question. The question goes like, when are you planning to start the manufacturing facility in UAE? And the important next question is, will there be a drop down in the price when we start the factory in the Middle East?
هنالك في الواقع سؤال مهم جدا، نشكر من سأل هذا السؤال، وهو متى ستبدأون التصنيع في دبي، وإذا بدأت فعلا تصنيع منتجات في منطقة الشرق الأوسط هل ستكون الأسعار أقل مما هي عليه الآن؟
Setting up of factory in Dubai, the process is going on in very active manner, even during this pandemic. So we are planning to, by the end of this year, we are planning to start the production, inshallah. Initial stage, we will be concentrating on production, which will be followed by the production of other products as well. And everything is going on in a very active manner. Coming back to the second part of the question about the price reduction. See, the pricing is completely depending upon the one factor called cost of production and freight and things like that. So the pricing dynamics and cost of production calculations, everything is just forecasted only. We have to reach into the actual scenario in order to see whether what would be the pricing dynamics. inshallah, anyway, having a factory in this region will definitely be having so many positive implications in DXN Middle East market, inshallah.
بالنسبة لبدء عملية التصنيع في منطقة الشرق الأوسط وبالتحديد في دبي، نحن حاليا نعمل بكل طاقاتنا لإنجاز هذا الأمر، ونتوقع أنه أن نبدأ بالتصنيع فعلا بنهاية هذا العام. أما بالنسبة للسعر، فالسعر أو أسعار المنتجات التي سوف تصنع هنا في منطقة الشرق الأوسط فتلك ستعتمد على دراسات مع إدارة الشرق الأوسط، حيث نحتاج أن نصل إلى رؤية واضحة مع الإدارة، لكن نحن نتوقع المفاجآت كما عودناكم دائما هنا في الشرق الأوسط، وسيكون فعلا هنالك ما يرضيكم إن شاء الله.
Thank you so much for giving an update on DXN Middle East manufacturing facility, Mr. Salim. Moving on to the next question, there are collective questions on DXN Syria. The question goes like, why there is a delay in opening a branch in Syria, despite we are having a lot of members already in Syria. Another question related to the same is, can you please review the pricing of DXN Syria, because when it is compared to the other markets, the pricing is high in Syria.
السؤال التالي هو يتعلق بفرع DXN في سوريا. لماذا هناك تأخير في فتح فرع الشركة في سوريا؟ هذا هو السؤال. وهل يمكنكم أيضا مراجعة أسعار المنتجات في سوريا لأنها باهظة وغالية الثمن بشكل ملفت؟
Syria, our respected Syrian stockist, engineer Mahmoud Al-Masri, is on the verge of opening a stockist center in Syria. Today, we have already announced the arrival of products in northern Syria. And soon, inshallah, you will be able to see the growth of company in Syria in different manner, opening up the offices and centers and whatnot. When it comes to the case of pricing, you need to understand one prime point, that pricing depends on different parameters prevailing in one particular country. So Syrian pricing had been fixed in that manner by HQ Malaysia. All the prices are fixed by HQ Malaysia, and based on different payments, different situations, subjective conditions in the market, potential risk, all these parameters have been added in the pricing decision. So if you are seeing any other country near to Syria with very low price, that means that there is some problem in the pricing of the other country, because that country dollar might have been dollar with that particular country's currency might have been fluctuated recently in a very high manner, so that the price had gone down in terms of dollar. So this is what is happening. Pricing in Syria is being formulated by looking at different parameters pertaining to that particular country, and we hope that the pricing in Middle East in different countries would be more or less equal in the coming days, if at all there is a possibility. We are trying to work upon that, but still there are many conditions which oppose us in doing that. So inshallah, things will be getting more fair in the nearby days to come.
سيادة المهندس محمود المصري وكيل شركتنا في سوريا يسعى حاليا لفتح فرع الشركة هناك في سوريا، وسوف يتم ذلك قريبا إن شاء الله. فالعمل جار على قدم وساق. أما بالنسبة أسعار المنتجات، فذلك يعتمد على عدة عوامل. فهناك في ماليزيا يتم إضافة تكاليف الشحن وأشياء أخرى يتم إضافتها إلى أسعار المنتجات. أما إذا رأيتم أسعار المنتجات تختلف من دولة إلى أخرى، ربما في الدول المجاورة ترونها أو تجدونها بأقل. فذلك يعود إلى عدة عوامل وأشياء، من ضمنها سعر الدولار في نفس الدولة، فهذا يلعب يعني دورا كبيرا في سعر المنتجات. لكننا نتطلع بأن نوحد الأسعار في منطقة الشرق الأوسط، وإن شاء الله في يعني قريبا جدا سنعمل على ذلك.
Thank you so much, Mr. Salim. Moving on to the next question, when can we expect the Korean cosmetic series in Jordan?
السؤال الآخر للسيد سليم، متى تتوقع إطلاق المنتجات مستحضرات التجميل الكورية في الأردن؟
Shabi, could you please answer that question?
Sure. Brothers and sisters, like we are in the last phase of registration of Korean cosmetics in Jordan. We hope to pass the registration within few weeks from now, or maximum by within a month. The registration of Jordan has got a lot of steps to be completed, and we almost reached the last step in order to complete the registration. So as soon as the products are completed the registration, we'll be soon getting the products in Jordan.
سيد شيبي يجيب على هذا السؤال، يقول نحن حقيقة في آخر مراحل تسجيل هذه المنتجات، منتجات مستحضرات التجميل الكورية في دولة الأردن، ونتوقع في الأسابيع القليلة القادمة ربما شهر إطلاق هذه المنتجات بشكل رسمي، فنحن نتطلع لذلك قريبا جدا. فمجرد استكمال إجراءات التسجيل سوف نطلقها ونعلن عن ذلك مباشرة.
Moving on to the next question. There is a question. There are few questions which is related to the marketing plan. I'm trying to compile all these questions, and we will see like whether we can answer you properly. So the question goes like, why DXN is issuing bonus only for those members who are completing 100 points? Why not 50 points? And when compared to other direct selling companies, the commission system of DXN is a bit different. So can you please try to increase the compensation plan so that more members will get more benefit? There are a few questions in this line. So could you please answer that?
هنالك عدة أسئلة متعلقة حقيقة بالخطة التسويقية. من ضمن هذه الأسئلة لماذا شركة DXN، لماذا عمولات شركة DXN تظهر فقط لمن أكمل 100 نقطة؟ لماذا لا تكون 50 نقطة مثلا؟ خصوصا وهنالك شركات أخرى منافسة وتعمل على جذب يعني أعضاء كثيرون، فلماذا لا يتم مراجعة هذه النقطة؟
This is a very valid question. In fact, many people are having these type of doubts in their mind. But what you need to understand is that this is a system which is a very proven system, which is a very successful system, which had already been changed the lives of millions of people across the world. This is such a system, and it's been going on for so many years, more than 20 years, around 30 years now. DXN system is running with the same conditions and with the same things. But still, when a new person comes, always that question will be there in their mind. Why not 50? Why 100? So suppose if we make 50, then again, there will be another new person who is coming and thinking, why 50? Why not 25? So these questions will never be finished. So this is a formulated system with proper scrutiny. And that's the reason why there are many people, many of our members died, and still their families are living with this income across the globe. So the basic policies and structure of marketing plan until now, over the period of time, company had not been reviewing, and 1 or 2 times we have made some changes, but it was very minor. And now coming back to the point about the competition, other companies are giving more bonus and things like that. You know, when anybody says that, you please ask that person, which is the other company, how much bonus they are giving. Because so far, we are 110% sure that the most successful company in the DXN Middle East, in this region, the most successful direct selling company, no doubt it is DXN. No doubt about that. And when you compare the number of members who are surviving with the system, if you compare in that terms also, you can see that DXN is much ahead of any other companies working in this region. Those are figures. That is very evident. But still, one person got one bonus in another company. It does not mean that that company is the most successful company in the region. DXN is the most successful company in this region because DXN system and products are connecting well with the people in the region. Not only in this region, all over the world. DXN is marching towards the position of #1 direct selling company in the world. During that time, there is no question about the region. So always our respectable CEO says, don't look left, don't look right. Just march forward with a steady vision. This is exactly what we need to do in a direct selling business. You are with the best. No need to go, no need to look here and there and get more doubts in your mind. Not arguably, not doubtful. It's a very true statement that DXN is the most successful direct selling company in the Middle East now. Thank you.
في الواقع هذا هو سؤال جيد. هناك أعضاء كثيرون لديهم هذا التساؤل عن نظام DXN. نظام DXN في الواقع هو نظام ناجح بكل المقاييس، وقد غير حياة الكثير من الناس والكثير من الأعضاء الملتحقين بهذه الشركة وهذا النظام. حوالي 30 عام مر لعمر هذه الشركة، وما زالت في تقدم وما زالت إلى الأمام، وهذا دليل كبير على قوة نظام هذه الشركة. نظامها الحالي بجميع خططه وبجميع مقاييسه. حقيقة من يسألون هذا السؤال هم أعضاء جدد، وهذا طبيعي جدا بأن يسأل العضو الجديد عن مثل هذه الأشياء. لكن من يعرف DXN فعلا وكيف أنها تورث مثلا هذه العمولات للأجيال القادمة، فسيعرف أن DXN هي شركة قوية فعلا ونظامها ممتاز. فلو سألت أعضاء في شركات أخرى وقارنت في العمولات التي يحصلون عليها، فبالتأكيد DXN هي الأفضل، وهي تعتبر أفضل شركة في المنطقة وفي العالم، وهي في طريقها لتصبح رقم 1. لا تنظر يمينا ولا شمالا، انظر إلى الأمام، انظر إلى DXN. فحقيقة DXN هي أكثر شركات البيع المباشر تفوقا في منطقة الشرق الأوسط، وهذه حقيقة لا نستطيع إنكارها.
Thank you so much, Mr. Salim, for that excellent answer. We are already receiving a lot of messages praising that answer. Thank you so much for that. Moving on to the next question. Again, that is something related to marketing plan. If I'm a star agent and I do not have new members in order to get my 25%, do I have to buy 300 points for myself? Also, in connection to that, if a member moves from Middle East to another country, like for example to Europe, how will he obtain his allowance, like the monthly commission? Will this negatively affect his qualification and allowance? Like Mr. Sebastian, to answer that.
Yes, it's a wonderful question anyway. Mr. Khalil, you need to translate.
Can you please repeat, Mr. Shibi, can you repeat the question, please?
The question is about the qualification. I'm a star agent. The person is asking whether do I need to have 300 points for myself in order to get my 25%, because I don't have anybody to buy as a new member. This is question number 1. The second thing, how will a member transfer his address when he is moving to a different country like Europe, and how can he get his commission from the new country?
السؤال متعلق بنظام التسويق في الشركة، وهو متعلق بالتأهل. هنالك ستار ايجنت، نجم، وكيل نجم يسأل هذا السؤال: هل يجب علي إكمال 300 نقطة إذا لم يكن لدي من الفريق 300 نقطة لكي أستطيع أن أحقق التأهل؟ وأيضا السؤال الثاني: كيف يستطيع العضو أن يغير من عنوان العمولة إذا مثلا سافر إلى أوروبا، وكيف يستطيع على الحصول على العمولة من أوروبا؟
Yes, answer to first question. One member is a star agent, and he or she need to qualify what is the criteria. As per DXN marketing plan in the Middle East, 100 PPV and 300 PGPV. Normally, some members, they are doing 100 PPV from the Middle East region, and from their team members, normally from non-qualified star agent or new members, like that, they are collectively getting 300 PGPV. That member will be qualified. But in the question, member is mentioned that there is no new members or no other PV is generated from his team. So he or she is doing 300 PPV. That particular star agent will be qualified for 25% bonus.
بالنسبة للمقطع الأول من السؤال، وكلاء النجوم لكي يحصلوا على التأهل أو لكي يحققوا التأهل للعمولة يجب عليهم تحقيق 100 نقطة شخصية BBV و300 نقطة من الأعضاء التي هي BGBV. أما إذا لم يستطع أن يحقق 300 نقطة من فريقه، فيمكنه أيضا أن يسدد 300 نقطة لكي يحصل على نسبة 25%.
And answer to the second question: if one member from Middle East region transferring to Europe region, how they can get the bonus? So answer is like this: there is an application form. Either you can submit before leaving to Europe, or after reaching Europe also you can submit to the head office or any branches, DXN branches. It is called membership data updation form. In that form, it's only very simple details only required: your membership number, your name, your new address with the contact details. And since in the Europe, bonus is distributing to the bank account of the members, so they have to update bank account details, and that also you can submit to your branches either in before leaving from Middle East or after reaching Europe. You can submit with your ID copy also, relevant valid ID copy, so that management will be sending to Malaysia. Malaysia will be updating it. Then after getting it updated, normally in the Middle East, members are going to the branch to collect the bonus. But in the Europe region, member can log in the eWorld. There is an option of ePoint, and through ePoint, member can give the request to transfer the monthly bonus to their bank account. Without visiting the branch, they can transfer the bonus to their branch, their bank account, or whenever they are buying, they can utilize that money to purchase product also.
بالنسبة لإجابة الشق الآخر من السؤال، أولئك من يحولون مكان إقامتهم من منطقة الشرق الأوسط إلى أوروبا أو إلى أي مكان في العالم يمكنهم تعبئة استمارة. فهناك استمارة تعديل بيانات، استمارة خاصة تسمى استمارة تعديل البيانات الموزع. يمكن للعضو أن يعبئها قبل أن يسافر أو بعد أن يصل إلى المكان الجديد أو الدولة الجديدة، مكان الإقامة الجديد. يمكنك تعبئتها وتسليمها لأقرب فرع للشركة، ستكتب فيها اسمك والعنوان الجديد أيضا مع رقم عضويتك، وتوقعها وتسلمها لأقرب فرع. وهنالك سوف يأخذونها ويرسلونها إلى الشركة، وستقوم الشركة بتحويل موطن العمولة إلى الدولة الجديدة. بالنسبة لأوروبا هناك ميزة في لأعضاء DXN في أوروبا أنهم من خلال موقع المتابعة الشخصية الإي وولد يمكنهم تحويل العمولة إلى حسابهم البنكي مباشرة من دون زيارة فرع الشركة هناك.
Thank you so much for that, Mr. Sebastian. Moving on to the next question. We are having questions related to our new market, which is Palestine. People are asking about the product availability in Palestine, and also they're asking about when will we are having the Korean cosmetic series in Palestine. So, Mr. Salim, can you please answer the questions related to Palestine? In connection to that, we are also having questions related to...
السؤال التالي حقيقة هو متعلق بفتح السوق الجديد في دولة فلسطين، فتح فرع الشركة في دولة فلسطين. متى سيكون الفتح الرسمي هنالك، وأيضا متى سيتم إطلاق منتجات مستحضرات التجميل الكورية في دولة فلسطين.
Please join these questions also. Like we are having questions on some other markets which is not part of DXN Middle East management, but there are a lot of questions about, for example, Lebanon, Egypt, Algeria, Sudan, etc. on the operations of these countries.
السيد سليم سيقوم بضم الأسئلة المشابهة، أيضا متى سيتم فتح فروع للشركة في المناطق التي لم يفتح فيها بشكل رسمي مثل لبنان وأيضا الجزائر وبعض الدول الأخرى.
Okay, regarding Palestine, we have recently opened our first office in Ramallah, and now we are planning to have expansion in Palestine because of this pandemic. In fact, we are also not able to speed up things or increase our pace, but eventually you will be able to see a foolproof system in Palestine also, inshallah. Again, regarding the product supply and everything, due diligence mechanism is operating in order to make the system perfect in Palestine under the leadership of DXN Jordan management as well. So they are actively working in order to bridge all the gaps. So very soon Palestine system will be very proper. Now we have products over there, and at times regarding logistics, we are getting a little delayed, but those things also had been rectified. Now things will go in a flawless manner, inshallah. And about Sudan, Egypt, Algeria, these type of markets are handled by Mr. Jijit. If you have any particular queries about those markets and all, you can always forward to any of us. We can transfer it to Mr. Jijit, or if you have Mr. Jijit's contact, directly you can ask him as well. Thank you.
بالنسبة لفرعنا في فلسطين، لقد تم فتح أول فرع فعلا للشركة، وذلك في مدينة رام الله، ولكن بسبب الجائحة لم نستطيع التوسع أكثر وفتح فروع أخرى في مناطق ومدن أخرى، لكن قريبا جدا إن شاء الله سوف نعمل على فتح فروع جديدة في بقية المدن. أما بالنسبة لتوفر المنتجات، فنحن أيضا نعمل بشكل كبير على توفير هذه المنتجات وعلى توفير النظام بشكل سلس في فلسطين، وهنالك أيضا ما يزال هنالك معاملات مع بعض السلطات هناك. بمجرد أن نكمل هذه الإجراءات جميعها ستكون المنتجات والنظام متوفر في فلسطين إن شاء الله بشكل ملحوظ. أما بالنسبة لدول أخرى مثل السودان ومصر والجزائر، فهنالك السيد جيجيث وهو المسؤول المباشر عن إجابة كل ما يتعلق من تساؤلات حول فتح الفروع في هذه الدول، فيمكنكم التواصل به مباشرة وسوف يجيبكم عن آخر المستجدات في هذا الشأن.
Thank you, brother. Just to add with it, like this question goes with all those members who are asking us about other markets which is outside DXN Middle East management's area.
أيضا هذه إجابة لكل من يتساءلون في فتح فروع جديدة في كل تلك الدول التي ليس بها فرع DXN بشكل رسمي.
The next question is about TSIP Russia. Can we have an update on TSIP Russia? When is going to happen?
السؤال التالي هو متعلق برحلة حافز السفر روسيا. هل هناك أي مستجدات حول هذه الرحلة؟
TSIP Russia, even now we have the proper plan to go ahead with TSIP Russia. If the pandemic conditions allow us, definitely we will be conduct TSIP Russia by the end of this year, inshallah. But if they conduct the trip, conducting the trip during this pandemic, either we can take risk, but from the part of a reputed company, we cannot bear that risk because your safety, participants' safety is the main priority for DXN. If at all any of you gets affected with the pandemic or something like that, then that trip will not be successful, and we will not be having good feedbacks also. So our utmost priority is your safety. That's the reason why we are being very cautious before organizing the trip. But inshallah, if everything permits, we can go ahead with TSIP Russia, inshallah.
بالنسبة لTSIP روسيا، لدينا خططنا الطبيعية حتى الآن بعقد هذا السفر إن شاء الله، ولكن إذا لم تسمح لنا الجائحة فلا نستطيع في الواقع المخاطرة بأعضائنا والسفر إلى روسيا، لأن سلامة الأعضاء هو ما يهمنا في الأول والأخير. لكن دعونا لا نستبق الأحداث وسنرى إن شاء الله. فإذا كانت الأمور على ما يرام فسوف نعقد هذا السفر.
Thank you so much for updating us regarding Russia. Moving on to the next question. If a person has a membership and does not want to continue working with the company, is it possible to give to another person his membership, and so that the name only will be changed according to the membership number to another name, and this person, the new person, can work on his behalf? Is it possible in DXN?
السؤال: إذا كان هناك شخص أو عضو في الشركة لديه عضوية ولا يريد أن يستمر في هذه العضوية، هل يستطيع أن ينقل عضويته لشخص آخر، تغيير الاسم فقط؟
Shabi, please answer it.
Actually, there is no provision for you to change your membership number to a person who is an unknown person because you are busy in some other stuffs. The only option for the transfer of membership is in the case of death and permanent illness. So these are the two scenarios where DXN accept the transfer of membership. Otherwise, if you are completely busy and you cannot go with the membership, and you have to resign from the membership, but you cannot literally transfer the membership.
في الحقيقة لا يوجد أي فرصة لتحويل العضوية من شخص إلى آخر ضمن قوانين الشركة. فتغيير العضوية يمكن فقط في حالة الوفاة أو في حالة المرض الذي يستمر لفترات طويلة. غير ذلك لا يمكن للعضو أن يحول عضويته لشخص آخر.
Moving on to the next question. Can I submit resignation and register directly with another member? I'd like to pass it to Mr. Boban.
Good morning all. In normal case, DXN company will not allow to transfer the sponsorship. I think he can translate.
Yes, okay. السؤال الثاني هو: هل يمكن، هناك شخص أو عضو يسأل هل يمكن أن أستقيل من عضويتي وأسجل في اليوم التالي مباشرة؟
Yeah, in normal case, DXN company will not allow to change the sponsorship. But in case if you are not able to go with the current sponsor, you need to resign and wait for 6 months to join with other person.
بالنسبة لهذا السؤال، لا يمكن للشركة أن تسمح للعضو أن يغير الداعي الحالي له أبدا، وإنما يستطيع العضو أن يقدم الاستقالة وينتظر لمدة 6 أشهر. بعد 6 أشهر يمكنه أن يسجل برقم جديد تحت أي عضو أو داعي جديد.
Yeah, after the resignation, you have to wait for 6 months. Then after completing 6-month period, you can join with the other sponsor if you wish so. I think it is clear.
نعم، يمكن للعضو بعد الاستقالة أن ينتظر لمدة 6 أشهر. بعد انقضاء 6 أشهر يمكنه أن يسجل من جديد بعضوية جديدة مع أي داعي يريد.
Thank you so much. Moving on with the next question. DXN products are extremely healthy products, but we are having a confusion on certain ingredients, especially on the coffee products, which is the addition. Those ingredients are like dipotassium hydrogen phosphate, sodium tripolyphosphate, partially hydrogenated palm oil, and sugar. These ingredients are preventing me from telling my friends about them as healthy alternatives.
في الحقيقة هذا السؤال عن منتجات DXN. منتجات DXN كما نعرف هي منتجات صحية، لكن لدينا بعض التساؤلات عن بعض المكونات خصوصا لبعض القهوات. هنالك بعض الأشياء التي تضاف مثل السكر و what are the ingredients? What are the ingredients? Please can you repeat them?
Sure. It is dipotassium hydrogen phosphate.
ديبوتاسيوم فوسفات الديبوتاسيوم.
Sodium tripolyphosphate.
أيضا فوسفات الصوديوم.
And mainly on partially hydrogenated palm oil.
أيضا الهيدروجين والسكر أيضا. فما حقيقة من إضافة هذه المكونات إلى منتجات صحية والقهوة الصحية؟
This is very important question. One thing what you need to understand is that DXN is not a small company. We are catering our products to 180 countries all over the world. And all these countries, we are going through each and every country's diligence mechanism. Diligence mechanism in the sense that every country is having a diligence mechanism when anybody, any company try to import anything. They will make sure that there are many countries which are having very strict supervision in that regards. To make sure that don't by the citizens of that country. And we are undergoing this test in around 180 countries all over the world, and we never get banned to be imported to any country, which means that we are having so many ingredients in all our products which are not harmful for the human body. You please understand this. If that was the situation, if the products were having something harmful, then no country will allow us to import it. And if at all some countries missing it, still 180 countries will not be allowing one company which is selling harmful substances to people. So you need to have that idea that it's not a small company. It's a very big company which has got network all over the world. So it indirectly certify one factor that we are comprehending all the authority restrictions in different countries. Now coming back to sodium tripolyphosphate and hydrogenated palm oil and dipotassium hydrogen phosphate, all these things, if you search, you can see that these are permitted food additives even approved by
US FDA, GRAS certificate, all these are there. But these particular elements should not be exceeding a particular limit. There is a threshold on which this quantity of these elements should not be there in any given product. And those parameters, each and every time when they test our product, if this parameter is crossing the threshold limit, products will be rejected. Products will be getting rejected. Company, that registration will be getting cancelled. But in the case of DXN, none of these sort will happen, and not happening because of one fact that we are following all the quality parameters specified by most of the global countries. So you can just close your eyes and have your DXN product.
بالنسبة لهذا السؤال، هذا السؤال في الواقع سؤال مهم جدا. شركة DXN ليست شركة صغيرة، وإنما هي شركة عملاقة لها انتشارا واسعا في العديد من الدول. أكثر من 100 دولة توجد فيها منتجات شركة DXN. هنالك دراسات مكثفة لكل ما يتم إضافته في منتجات DXN. DXN تصدر هذه المنتجات إلى أكثر من 100 دولة. لا يمكن لأي دولة أن تسمح بمنتجات ضارة بالدخول إلى هذه الدولة واستهلاكها من قبل مواطنيها. فهناك رقابة صارمة في كل هذه الدول التي تدخل إليها منتجات DXN. فلو كان عكس ذلك، لو كانت منتجات DXN منتجات ضارة، لكانت هذه المنتجات ممنوعة في هذه الدول، ولكنها ولله الحمد موجودة في كل هذه الدول وتدخل بكل سلاسة بعد عمل الإجراءات والفحوصات اللازمة عليها. هذه المكونات التي ذكرت يتم إضافتها حقيقة بكميات مسموحة علميا، ويمكنكم أيضا دراسة ذلك والبحث عن ذلك. هي تضاف بكميات مسموحة، لذلك عليكم فقط أن تغمضوا أعينكم وتستهلكوا منتجات DXN.
Thank you so much. There is another question which is from Saudi Arabia. Again, a group of questions combined together. The first question is asking about the update on DXN factory in Saudi Arabia. The second thing is about the product availability in Saudi Arabia, like especially the new product like cordyceps. The third, a very important question, is on the warnings which is being written on the labels, like the pregnant ladies and nursing mothers should not use the products. So can you please answer on these things?
هنالك أسئلة أخرى أيضا تصلنا وسوف نجمعها أيضا مع بعضها في سؤال واحد. هي وصلتنا من المملكة العربية السعودية. ماذا عن آخر تطورات حول فتح مصنع الشركة في السعودية، في المملكة العربية السعودية؟ هذا هو الشق الأول من السؤال. الشق الثاني، هنالك بعض القلق والتخوف من بعض الأعضاء لما أو للتحذير الذي يكتب في بعض المنتجات كالكورديسيبس أنه مثلا لا يمكن للحوامل استخدامه وما إلى ذلك. هل هنالك توضيح حول هذه الأشياء من فضلكم؟
Okay, there are three questions. First question about Saudi factory. Saudi factory, we are in the process of setting up Saudi factory as well. We have the plan to set up two different factories in the region, one in Dubai and one in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, we have talks going on with Mudon, with respected Saudi authority to establish our factory in Riyadh. Things are going on. Very soon you will be able to hear the exact plan as which production in Saudi Arabia, which products in UAE and all these things. Very soon. At this point, I won't be able to reveal the stage particularly, but things are going on. Things are very actively going on. So very soon, inshallah, DXN will be a factory, will be a company which is having two different factories in Middle East region, one in Saudi Arabia and one in Dubai. And the second part of the question about products like cordyceps in Saudi Arabia. Shabi, would you be able to answer that question about the products registration in Saudi Arabia?
Sure.
One second, Shebi, you can answer that. Before that, I'll answer the third question also about the labeling in Saudi Arabia, pregnant ladies and children and things like that. See, we need to understand one thing. Again, I have told earlier in my earlier answer, DXN is a company which completely obeys the restrictions and protocols and rules set by different country authorities. If any, we don't have a black channel, we have only white channel. So when anytime any import happens in any given country, there will be one authority who will be giving us suggestions. You do like this, you do like that, you do like this, and we follow everything. We follow everything, and we try to avoid maximum things possible, but still we follow everything. So this restriction, pregnant ladies, children, and all in different countries, this restriction is being followed now because of the herbs. You know, there are many things, many materials which are coming under the category of herbs, which cannot be consumed by certain category of products. So an authority, when they put one restriction, they cannot identify this herb, no need of this restriction, this herb, no need of this restriction, this herb, okay, this restriction need to be the. So they completely gives a restriction for the entire category of herbs. So since our products also are having natural herbs inside it, we are coming under this broader category. But it may not be true as you read, but still we have to follow the labeling restrictions suggested by each country in this region. So as per the authority suggestion only, you can see whatever things you are seeing on the label is being suggested by the authority, not the company's direct communication with the members. So please interpret and understand those things in that manner. Thank you. Shebi, you can answer that second question also, then Khalil can translate.
Sure. Just to add a point with the second question. The second question was related to the introduction of new products in Saudi Arabia, especially cordyceps. Brothers and sisters, we are extremely happy to announce you that in 2021 itself, we will be seeing a lot of new products, not only in Saudi Arabia, but all over in Middle East. And Saudi Arabia in particular, if you are answering, especially cordyceps and all these products are taken into consideration. We are having, because each authority, like Mr. Salim said, each authority is different, and each authority's requirement for the registration of product is different. We are having 11 markets in Middle East. Each country is different, each authority is different. So we are finding different ways to register almost every product which is available in Malaysia, in Saudi Arabia also. And like Mr. Salim said, the important point, the classification of Saudi Arabia is basically on two segments. One is food supplement and special food. So any warning or any label modification that you're seeing is in align with these classification. DXN or DXN company has got nothing to do with these warnings or suggestions. This is completely in align with the authority requirement. You will see any product which is in Saudi Arabia, which is classified as special food or which is classified as a food supplement, will be having the same type of warnings. And that's the only reason why we are putting all these things. Like, for example, just one more thing to add with, you are seeing different expiry dates. For example, the mushroom powder, Ganoderma powder in Saudi Arabia or UAE or any of the Middle East countries is 2 years. Whereas when you're going to Malaysia, the RGGL is 3 years. The same protection, it can last up to 3 years, but we are printing 2 years because, you know, Middle East, different authorities was allowing food supplements to have 2 years shelf life only. But now things are getting changed. Now the authority is allowing us to use the same shelf life which is being used in the manufacturing country. So you will be seeing these changes in the near future. Brother Khalil?
Yes. بالنسبة للمصنع في المملكة، نحن نخطط أيضا ونقوم بالتجهيزات اللازمة لفتح المصنع في المملكة وأيضا مصنع دبي. وهناك خطط تدرس حاليا حول ماهية المنتجات التي سيتم تصنيعها في المملكة، وأيضا ماهية المنتجات التي سيتم تصنيعها في دبي، وسيتم ذلك قريبا جدا، نأمل ذلك. أما بالنسبة للشق الآخر من السؤال، في الواقع DXN هي شركة تحترم البروتوكولات الدول المختلفة، فهناك في بعض الدول تقترح بعض السلطات إضافة ملاحظات معينة مثل هذه الملاحظات التي تجدونها على المنتج الكورديسيبس ومنتجات أخرى، خصوصا المنتجات الغذائية. لماذا هذه الملاحظات؟ في الحقيقة في الكثير من الدول بدأت هذه الدول تقترح إضافة هذه الملاحظات على منتجات الغذائية والتي تحتوي على أعشاب. يجب أن يكون هناك ضوابط وتقييدات لاستخدامها، وهذا يطبق في كثير من الدول. فنحن شركة تحترم أيضا مقترحات هذه السلطات، فهذه المقترحات أو هذه الملاحظات تم إضافتها بطلب من السلطات في بعض الدول التي ترون هذه الملاحظات موجودة في المنتجات. بالنسبة للكورديسيبس والمنتجات الجديدة، في الواقع هنالك في هذا العام، عام 2021، سيكون هناك إطلاق لمنتجات جديدة عديدة في الدول، في عدة دول في منطقة الشرق الأوسط وليس فقط في المملكة. وهنالك لدينا في المنطقة 11 دولة، كل دولة لها مقترحات مختلفة حقيقة فيما يضاف من ملاحظات على هذه المنتجات، ونحن في الواقع نتبع هذه المقترحات وننفذها بحسب طلب هذه السلطات. حتى لو رأينا أحيانا بالنسبة لتاريخ الانتهاء لبعض المنتجات، هنالك بعض الدول تطلب أن يكون تاريخ الانتهاء بعد مرور عامين أو سنتين، وبعض الدول تطلب أن يكون بعد مرور 3 سنوات. فنحن ننفذ هذه المقترحات ونضعها على منتجاتنا بحسب طلبات أو السلطات المختلفة في هذه الدول.
Thank you so much, Mr. Khalil, for that wonderful translation. It was quite long. Thank you so much for that. Moving on to the next question. We are having very limited time now, so we'll be closing with 1 or 2 questions more. Thank you so much for the outstanding response that we are receiving. But the time, there is a time restriction for us. Moving on to the next question without wasting any single minute. There are some messages which is related to the pricing of DXN products in the Middle East. There are some members who are requesting to review the pricing because they consider they think the price currently which we are having is quite high.
شكرا جزيلا لتجاوبكم جميعا ولأسئلتكم الهادفة. السؤال التالي يتعلق عن أسعار منتجات DXN. هنالك بعض الأعضاء من يعتقدون أن منتجات الشركة أسعارها باهظة، فكيف تردون على هذه التساؤلات؟
DXN, actually we are operating in different countries. All countries' prices are fixed from DXN Malaysia headquarters. So you can see that different countries, in each and every country, pricing depending on different economic parameters prevailing in that particular country, not based on the purchase capacity of people in that country. You know, there are different things we need to take into consideration. For example, customs duty, taxes, different type of taxes. All these things are adding into the pricing algorithm. So this is the way, there is an algorithm which DXN HQ Malaysia follows, in which they put all these things and the price gets generated. So each and every country, DXN HQ Malaysia is the one which fixes the price based on these economic parameters. So at times, you know, we need to understand the profitability and survival of the company as well. because this is a system which feeds so many people. And this is a system which gives revenue for income for so many people for generations. So in order to assure the survival of the system, we need to be very perfect in pricing in different countries. We need to make sure that we are surviving in different countries. So that's the reason why pricing is a very sensitive thing. But it does not mean that if you compare Latin American countries' pricing, where the #1 sales of DXN happens, almost you can see 20 to 30% more than Gulf pricing, but still the sale happening over there is more than our region. So pricing does not directly related with the sales or potential of the system. You can see within the Middle East, you can see different countries with more pricing. For example, Kuwait and Jordan and all, you can see more price as compared to other countries within the Middle East. So if at all we were provided with a chance to follow a uniform price all over the Middle East, we would have done that. But each and every country's economic parameters compel us to follow different type of pricing. So reviewing pricing policy, I'm afraid that is an area which we are forbidden to go, as the algorithm had already been worked out.
بالنسبة لهذا السؤال عن أسعار المنتجات في المنطقة، نحن كما تعلمون نعمل في دول مختلفة، ولكل دولة سعر ثابت تم مراجعته ودراسته من قبل إدارة الشركة في ماليزيا. في الواقع هنالك عوامل لوغاريتمية تدرس من خلالها الشركة اقتصاد وعوامل أخرى للسوق أو للدولة التي ستباع فيها منتجاتها، ومن خلال ذلك تضع الأسعار للدول المختلفة. لذلك مسألة الأسعار هي مسألة حساسة جدا. فلو أخذنا مثالا في أمريكا اللاتينية، أسعار منتجات DXN قد تصل إلى 3 أضعاف الأسعار الموجودة الآن هنا في الشرق الأوسط، ومع هذا فهذه المنتجات تباع بكل أريحية هناك في أمريكا اللاتينية. ومع هذا نحن ما زلنا في نقاش مستمر مع الشركة وإدارة الشركة في ماليزيا إذا كان هناك أي إمكان لإعادة النظر في تسعيرة المنتجات.
Thank you so much for that answer, Mr. Salim. I think with that, because we have already crossed more than 90 minutes now, and with that, we can wind up the complete show. For a quick glance, can we have all the management team on screen? Can you please turn on your video? Ladies and gentlemen, with that, we are winding up today's program. And the important points today was about the announcement that we had at the beginning. Middle East, the first ever virtual recognition is going to happen very soon. That is, the first thing is on 6th of August, and the next one is on 10th of September. So please rush and go to the next status and get recognized. This is going to be the first ever virtual recognition conducted in the Middle East. And as introduced to you, like we have the new feature which came up in eWorld with the online membership, multiple bills, and you can recruit new members to get their bonus. The Korean cosmetic series, tomorrow onwards, you can buy individually. The NTSI, ITSI compensation, we are just waiting on the last phase of HQ approval to give it to you. And the Neo series products will be soon reaching to you. The Morency has already been reached to Saudi Arabia. Now it will reach to Oman, to other markets also. And soon the coffee products without sugar is going to come to your markets also. Ladies and gentlemen, let's wind up the Q&A session with the DXN Middle East management with this. Mr. Salim, would you like to share a concluding message?
Just a quick concluding message, Shebi. Actually, the pandemic is already getting back to the things, and lives are getting back to normal. Now you need to understand one thing. World is not like our previous world. The future world, people will be more concerned about immunity. People will be more concerned about extra income and things like that. The comprehensive solution for both these things, that is DXN system. So you have that DXN system. So make sure that you promote that very well. All our team and everybody under the leadership of respected our Managing Director, Mr. Matthew, is ready to serve you. And only thing is that you just need to get back out from your comfort zone and let us forget about pandemic and let us think about growth in the future days to come, inshallah.
السيدات والسادة، في الواقع لقد تعدينا الوقت المسموح لنا، لذلك سننهي هذه الجلسة. نعيد ونذكر أيضا بالنقاط المهمة التي تم الإعلان عنها والإفصاح عنها في هذا الاجتماع أو في هذا النقاش. الاحتفال السنوي 19 الذي تنظمه شركة DXN الشرق الأوسط لتكريم الماسيين المزدوجين من الأعضاء وما فوقهم سيكون في 6 أغسطس الساعة 4 مساء بتوقيت الإمارات العربية المتحدة. كما سيكون هناك تكريم النجوم الماسيين أيضا من رتبة النجم الماسي حتى رتبة النجم الماسي المتقدم التنفيذي في 10 سبتمبر 4 مساء بتوقيت الإمارات، وسيكون ذلك عبر الإنترنت. أيضا الميزة الجديدة للعضويات الإلكترونية للأعضاء في إقليم الشرق الأوسط بأنهم بإمكانهم الآن تحقيق 100 نقطة في أكثر من فاتورة في نفس شهر التسجيل. كما أيضا يمكن لأعضائنا في منطقة الشرق الأوسط شراء مستحضرات التجميل الكورية من DXN بشكل فردي، وأيضا بجانب شرائها كمجموعات. أيضا بالنسبة لإطلاق السلسلة الجديدة من منتجات DXN الخالية من السكر، فقد تم إطلاق المورزي نيو في المملكة العربية السعودية، وسيتم إطلاقه أيضا في بقية الدول في المنطقة. فلذلك نشد على أيادي كل الأعضاء في تحقيق الرتب للدخول في التكريم القادم. السيد سليم أيضا أنهى هذه الجلسة بكلمة أخيرة يقول فيها أن العالم الآن ليس كما كان في السابق. الناس الآن بعد هذه الجائحة مهتمون أكثر بالمناعة وما يتعلق بالمناعة، وكل ما يحتاجه الناس تقريبا موجود في مشروع DXN. دعونا لا نرى إلى هذه الأشياء المفططة، ودعونا نرى إلى المستقبل بشكل أو وجه مشرق، وشكرا للجميع.
Thank you so much. We are still receiving a lot of questions, but because of time restriction, we are closing it here. It's not an end. A Q&A session we will keep it continuing. We'll keep it rolling, and the next date for Q&A with the Middle East management will be soon reaching to you. And before closing, we have an interesting message from one of our leader. We want to listen something from Matthew sir also.
ما زلنا نستقبل الكثير من الأسئلة، ولكن هذه ليست آخر جلسة، فسيتم إن شاء الله نقاش هذه الأسئلة في جلسات قريبة أخرى. والآن نستمع جميعنا إلى خطاب نهائي من السيد ماثيو.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much for your time. Be strong. We are overcome this pandemic. Okay, thank you very much for your all support.
شكرا جزيلا للجميع، شكرا جزيلا للحاضرين من أعضائنا. سوف نتغلب فعلا على هذه الجائحة. شكرا جزيلا.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are not seeing Mr. Matthew more often on screens, but he is a real person who is running the whole show, who is motivating us, who is keeping united all of us as a team. And thank you so much, Sir Matthew, for your active support as always. And with that note, we would like to wind up. And ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Abdul Khalil, who was translating the whole event to Arabic. He is the manager and PIC of DXN Yemen. Mr. Khalil, we would like to thank you also from DXN Middle East Management.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, brother.
With that note, we would like to wind up the complete show. Thank you so much. Keep continuing doing DXN. DXN is a platform for you to have your perfect health, wealth, and happiness. Ladies and gentlemen, see you till we meet you next time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
شكرا جزيلا للجميع. شكرا.